What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today I'm going to talk to you about my new workout split, which I'll be doing during the cutting phase towards my competition. So what I usually devise a workout split for, a different one, is to eliminate a weak point. I want to improve upon something. And if you look closely to this specific week, you can see that triceps is in there 3 times. Why? Because your weak muscle group, when it's a small one, you can put it 3 times in the week if you do this smartly and if you know your limits. I know that I can take a lot of volume and a lot of frequency, so knowing this, I implemented it in my workout split. Triceps right now is my only true weak point on my body, especially the long head, which I'll be talking about how I'm going to fix that. But it used to be legs before, but the legs have pretty much improved beyond such a point that they're not a weak point anymore, just a thing I need to still work on, but they're pretty much proportionate to the rest of my body. So the only thing that really needs to be worked on is the tricep thickness and the 3D effect. So this workout plan will actually be of 2 weeks. So week 1 and week 2 will be different, and I'll tell you why in a second. But let's start with Monday, chest and triceps. So what I want to do is, while I'm fixing my main weak points, I really want to work on my minor weak points at the same time. And you don't really have to drastically change anything for this. For example, the upper chest. The upper chest, in my opinion, can improve a little more compared to the rest of the chest, and I do this by starting out with an isolation movement targeting the upper chest. So we usually do some kind of fly motion right before any other compound exercise. This at the same time warms up the chest, and especially when you're doing heavy compounds afterwards, it's very good to have a warmed up chest. Remember, I'm cutting right now, so I cannot afford to get injured in any way, so I'd rather do a little more volume compared to a heavy weight right at the start. Because I'm starting out with the flies, I won't be able to do the same maximum weight on the bench press, for example, because you already pre-exhausted the chest, and that's what you want, because you want to feel the muscle at all times for the maximum pump. And after this initial isolation movement, I'll do 3 more compound exercises, usually something like a bench press, incline dumbbell press, a dip, and then moving on to a final isolation movement, maybe the dumbbell pullover or another different fly exercise. And then we do the triceps. Usually I like to do 3 exercises for the triceps. 1 for the long head, 1 for the small head, and 1 for the medial head of the triceps. Remember, triceps means 3. So 3 different muscle heads of 1 muscle. And that means that you want to work all 3 of them in one workout. But for me, the long head is the most important, so that's what I put most emphasis on. But usually I do start out with a lighter exercise, such as a rope push down, because this makes the elbows feel a lot better, warms them up properly. Even though you did chest, we're going to go very heavy on the long head exercises, such as the French press or even the skull crusher, also working the medial head. So that's basically it for triceps, and then moving on to Tuesday, hamstrings and calves. So what I do is split up the hamstrings and the quads throughout the week. I do this the same for week 2. So basically starting out with the hamstrings, doing some curls like the leg curl, the hamstring curl, then moving on to a leg press with a wide stance and a high stance to target the glutes and the hamstrings, and then ending it with a stiff leg deadlift and of course 2 calf exercises. And then it's Wednesday. Notice it's back and rear delts, no biceps. I'm only doing biceps once a week now. because my biceps are overpowering my triceps. A lot of people make the mistake that they simply add on the weak muscle group to the rest of the workout split. So they will be working out, for example, biceps twice and triceps twice, and then they will be working triceps 3 times instead of twice and keeping the biceps the same. That's not going to work because your biceps are overpowering for a reason, and that's because they respond very well to training. So I only have to train it once a week to get a proper response. So for back and rear delts, it's basically one time we do the width and one time we do the thickness, but nowadays I like to do thickness a little more because I have plenty of width, but the thickness still needs to be filled in. So we do a lot of rowing, such as a seated row, T-bar row, bent over row, and the dumbbell pullover. And for rear delts, usually 2 exercises with a lot of volume, such as the rear delt flies and the rear delt rows on the lat pull down, for example. And then we're already at Thursday, again, chest and triceps. On this day, I honestly do pretty much the same I did on Monday. Perhaps some different exercises I didn't do. For example, if on Monday I did a lot of barbell work, I might do a lot of dumbbell work on Thursday. Same for triceps. If I did a lot of machine on Monday, I will do more free weights on Thursday. Then going to Friday, quads and calves. Well, for this I basically do a lot of compound movements right at the gate, maybe warming up with a leg extension, but mostly doing squats, front squats, hack squats, leg presses, and lunges, stuff like that, and ending it again with 2 calf exercises, normally a seated one and a standing one. So then we're at the last day already, Saturday, and this is a special day because it's one of my favorites, a superset workout. Biceps and triceps, and with some side delts with it. Biceps and triceps. Now this is an interesting one because doing them together creates a synergistic effect for both muscles. When you contract the bicep, you have no choice but to stretch the triceps. And when you contract the triceps, you stretch the biceps. This constant change of motion causes those 2 muscle groups to fill up with extra, fresh blood for more growth. So that's why I love them. And do notice that I start every superset with the biceps this time. So first a bicep exercise and then a tricep one. I do this because there's no other bicep in the entire week. So I emphasize it only on this day. And I still work the triceps very well by combining it with the biceps. And I usually do 4 to 5 supersets of this and then ending it with 1 exercise of side delts with high volume 5 sets, 25-20 reps, really making sure that the side delts are filled with blood as well for a maximum pump. And that was basically it for week 1, nothing too difficult but very logical for me, wanting to work the weak point, the triceps, and I'm working out 6 days a week, by the way, instead of 5 days, which I used to do for the last year almost. I'm doing 6 days now because it simply burns more energy for this cutting phase. It has always worked for me for every competition, and the moment that I do literally grow tired of a workout split of 6 days, I have to move back to 5 days, but that hasn't happened yet. And you know, you can withstand it for a couple of months, and when you do feel you're getting fried, your nervous system gets fried, you might want to back off of it. But because this cutting preparation, this cutting phase isn't infinite, it actually is still 11 more weeks. That means I can most certainly handle 6 days a week for sure with this intensity and volume. So week 2, then we have a slightly different week. As you can see, on Monday we start, instead of chest and triceps, with back and triceps. This is a combination I usually never do, but the exercises themselves will be pretty much the same. Because you haven't worked chest before triceps, you still have full energy in the triceps, allowing them to put forth more energy. On Tuesday it's the same as week 1. Wednesday it's chest and triceps, the same as I would do in week 1 as well. And Thursday is basically back and rear delts, but I might change it up with back and biceps because there's no other bicep in this week. But I'll see how it goes, because most importantly, the triceps simply need to improve and be proportionate to the biceps. And from that point on forward, I can train them both the same once again. Friday, quads and calves, the same as week 1, and Saturday, chest, triceps and side delts. I used to do this back in the day a lot. Side delts is always an extra day. Notice that I don't have a shoulder day, because when I work back, I work the rear delts, and when I work chest, I work the side delts, and the front delts are worked during every chest exercise as well. So what you notice, in week 1 I only have 1 back day, and in week 2 I have 2 back days, but the chest days are in both weeks also 2. So I work out chest 4 times in 2 weeks and back 3 times. This is because the back is a stronger body part compared to the chest. So yeah, that was a quick look at my workout split of this week. Remember, I make workout plans for people. I have done quite a lot by now. So if you're interested, send me an email and we'll discuss. Anyway guys, I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay gold.